On this episode of the iPhoneography podcast, we're trying something new with the format. In this part, we're going to talk a little bit about a Reeflex update, and with the holiday season coming up, gift ideas from both me and Greg.
It is Monday, December 5th, and this is the iPhoneography podcast. I'm Greg McMillan, and I'm with my good pal, Dave Podner. Hello, Dave.
Hey, Greg, how's it going tonight?
It's going really well. So we are going to try something a little different. And we're going to try this and see how it goes. So folks, what we're going to do is we're going to break the show into two parts. So you'll have one part this week and you'll have another part next week. Just to, give you a little taste of the iPhoneography podcast a little more often, but not so much of it at a time. And we'll see how it goes. If it flies, we'll continue to do that. If it doesn't fly, then we'll just keep putting everything all in one. And I think it's going to work, Dave, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know when I look at podcasts that I listen to, if I see something that's over an hour long, it can be a little daunting, even if it's like a multi-section like we do. It's still, this thing is an hour long. Do I have an hour or, to actually delve into it versus, that's a half an hour.
Yeah. And
that's closer to commute time.
I have to admit, I don't catch all of the podcasts that I'd like to catch because some of them, Mac Break Weekly, for instance, it could be up to 2.5 hours long. And I bet you I can't remember the last time I listened to the whole thing. Even, a little bit here, a little bit there. But man, oh man, it's that's a long time to try to sit and listen to a podcast. And I don't have a big commute to work. My commute is like 5 minutes.
Oh yeah,
that's how small of a town I live in. But yeah, we'll give it a whirl and see what happens. So this week, now that we're into December and the holidays are among us, we are going to talk about some gift ideas. So the idea here is these gift ideas could be something that you would buy someone who does photography with their iPhone. And some of them maybe even work for photography in general. But so I'll start with one here. And this is something that's been in our show notes for quite some time. And it's reflex lenses. These little lenses that you put on your phone. They're a great addition. I love it when I go somewhere and people got their big camera bags and whatnot. And I said, okay, I'm going to get my camera gear out and I'll pull a lens out of my pocket. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, there's a link in the show notes for reflex lenses. They've got 6 different lenses. I have the 60 millimeter telephoto and the long range macro, and the glass is really good in them. This is I'm trying not to make this sound like an ad, but I'm just saying this is what they're good for. And and there's with the link in the show notes, there's a 10% coupon code where you can get a bit of a rebate on them. And so hey, get somebody some lenses, 1 lens, 2 lenses, all of them, doesn't matter. But they're a great addition to someone's iPhoneography arsenal. So, Dave, we'll let you fly one off here. And
okay. Well, I wanted to go. I wanted to go with one thing I have and one thing that I would want. So the one thing I have, unfortunately, I can't find the original item because they no longer sell it, and it was something Ruth gave me a couple years ago. It is a lens ball. And if you're not familiar with the lens ball, it's a clear glass, and I would say definitely it definitely should be glass ball that you just take photos in, and it can make some really interesting perspectives. The one I have, I'm a horrible judge for size. Let's call it 2 inches, maybe. It's something that easily would fit in the palm of your hand.
It's about the size of a baseball, really.
Yeah, it's a I would say a tinge
maybe
smaller
a little
than
smaller.
a baseball.
Yeah.
a little smaller than a baseball. It does have a little stand, a clear stand,
Oh yeah.
so you can put it down on a table and then take a picture through it. And it does have a clean glass. Again, it's kind of neat because it gives you a different perspective of when you're trying to take a photo. So, now the only problem is, of course, being a lens, it does flip the image.
Yeah, yeah.
So your image is upside down, but luckily that's easy to fix. Either you can just flip the whole thing so the image inside the lens ball is right side up.
Hmm.
And that's exceptional. And you can do it in a built-in editing app, just kind of rotate it and boom, you're good.
Yep.
You can use that for either doing something that is more um, abstract,
Hmm.
like leaves, or if you get
Oh
certain
yeah.
distance away, you can change how it goes. So it's just something that is, and I unfortunately, like I said, when I tried to find what was purchased, I couldn't find it, but most of them are in the $20 US. Now there are some very, very expensive ones. There's one
Yeah,
here which
yeah.
is $75 for a 6-incher.
Mm.
I think that's ridiculous. Most of them are in like the 20, maybe up to 30. So,
That's not too
look
bad.
at the no. Now I would say look at the reviews and read the reviews. Because I was trying to find one that was similar to it to give an exact link, and it was like, oh, that's 4.5 reviews out of 2,700. I go down and start reading the reviews. It's talking about the wonderfulness of like a resin
Oh really?
to stick paper to it, and all of them. So it basically, what they did is they skimmed the Amazon website for this one product, copied all the information. So they got the reviews, they got the stars, they got the number of reviews, and they just pasted their product on the very top.
Oh really?
So it looks, you're like, wow, this thing has 2,700 reviews and it's 4.8 stars. And most people don't actually read what the context is. And you read the
Yeah.
context like, wait a minute, this question and answer has nothing to do with the product that I'm looking. Why does it take the time to actually review it?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a
But yeah,
cool
so
idea.
yeah,
Like I know a couple of people with the lens ball and they do
yeah.
have some fun with them.
Mm-hmm.
You can get really
And
creative
it's
with it.
pretty portable too.
Yeah.
So that's
Oh
the nice
yeah.
things that instead of, one of the advantages of the iPhone is it's small and it's
Hmm.
unobtrusive. And, if you have like a little bag, if you're going out on a walk somewhere, like a nature hike or something like this can easily, I don't want to say fit in your pocket because it's a little heavy, but if you wanted to take a lunch, you know, it would fit
Hmm.
into a cooler bag and it wouldn't add that much weight or girth or,
Yeah.
anything
Now,
to your carry-on.
have you tried anything at night with it? Like your Christmas lights on your house?
Mm, well, I have not, but, and foreshadowing for the photos of the week, I did something similar. Not with the photo ball, but I did something similar with something else. I'll
Okay.
leave that as a teaser.
All right. Sounds good. Alrighty. So yeah, lens ball I've heard them called lens ball or glass ball. Yeah, they're
Hmm.
they're they're pretty cool. So my second choice is quite simply an App Store gift card. You know, get somebody a gift card for 10, 15, $20, whatever it is, and then they can buy that camera app they've wanted or buy that editing app they've
Yeah.
wanted. It's a great gift for somebody who does photography with an iPhone. And
Hmm.
they're fairly easy to redeem. You just go to the App Store. I think there might be a redeem button right at
There
the
is.
top. I'm
Yep.
not sure.
There's
Yeah.
a redeem button. So the virtual one, and also virtual ones work well too.
Yeah.
So you don't need to actually get a physical gift card. You can actually get a virtual gift card, or
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
go somewhere, yeah, or if you go somewhere like a Sam's Club or a Warehouse Club,
Hmm.
sometimes they offer, now not so much on Apple gift cards, but some of the gift cards, if you get them at the right time, you can get like $60 worth of gift cards for $56.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Not a huge savings, but you're saving
Oh
four
yeah.
bucks.
Yeah, sure.
Or like our local grocery store. they'll have the gift cards where you can just buy them. And our grocery store has what's it called? Loyalty program.
Oh yeah.
So you buy the gift card and you can get, money off of the groceries or money off of gas. And around this time of year, they say, hey, buy a $50 card and we're going to give you double points or something like that.
Well, sometimes Apple puts these gift cards on at a deal, and I think they may be on right now. I'm not sure. So, check that out. You can probably go to the Apple Store app maybe and see if they're there. But yeah, gift cards. So your next one,
I know also. Yep. Well, the next one is something, I'm just checking out the Apple website real quick here to see if they have anything on it, but I don't see them promoting anything on the store. I mean, product, obviously.
Yeah. Well, keep an eye out for
Apple
that because, maybe the closer.
You never know when they're going to throw stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Just double checking though. Now the second thing is something that I haven't purchased for myself, but something that I have wanted, but I'm afraid to pull the trigger. Not because
and this
of
is because of your
cost.
frustrations with Apple, isn't it?
It is. It is because the biggest problem with the iPhone I shouldn't say this. One of the biggest problems is even though the zoom is good, it's still only 3x optical. And if you want to take a picture of, let's say, the moon or a distant object, it doesn't do it. And when you get to digital zoom, you obviously have issues then. You have the whole issue with digital zoom, which they're doing decent. The Samsung still does better from what I've seen from people's reviews. The Pixel does an amazing job for the hardware they give you. Is a scope. Just literally not a telescope, just a little handheld.
It's like a digiscope. I think it's called digiscope, isn't it?
Yeah. So, and a lot of them have, if you, and of course, everyone tends to go to Amazon for everything here. You gotta be careful because it's, I shouldn't be typing in the background, but if you just do scope iPhone, that's generally enough to get you in the right direction. And these ones are, depending on what you're looking, again, look at the reviews, read the reviews, make sure there's enough reviews. If there's only 27 reviews, I get a little suspicious.
And it's nice to read the question and answers too, like where people ask questions about the product. Yeah.
Exactly. But some of these are 12 power, 80 power, and I don't know about that. But you can get these for $60, $70. And most of them are handheld, but almost all of them will also have a adapter for a smartphone because the manufacturers know that's probably one of the biggest uses for a little handheld scope outside of, let's say, hunting, is people who want that zoom.
Yeah.
And again, you cannot beat physics. If you're
right.
if you even when they get to hopefully 15, maybe 16, the iPhone 15, 16, and they give you we finally get a periscope zoom, it's still optical only going to be maybe 10.
Yeah.
If they can squeeze out 20, that would be amazing for the size that you're in. But they may have to bend the light multiple ways, and when you do that, of course, you run into other optical issues. There's nothing that beats a big old lens that you can hook on there and zoom in. Also, I've seen people who do that, and you can get decent moon photos.
Yeah.
Because the problem with taking the moon photo on an iPhone at night is not only do you have contrast issues, really bright moon, black, everything else, but you have you're trying to zoom in to get the moon to a decent size, and you need more optical zoom.
Yeah, I've seen photos that people have taken with an iPhone with the Now I can't remember if it was attached to an actual telescope or if it was done with a
Yeah.
digiscope,
Yeah.
but yeah, you can get really nice images of the moon
Hmm.
with these scopes, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, I've have taken good photos of the moon with my, oh God, how many years old is it now? 10-year-old almost Panasonic.
Hmm.
Which is at the time it was one of those super zoom cameras because I think it can do 20x optical and like 100x digital or something like that.
Yeah.
And if I zoom in full digital, you can easily see the craters on the moon and sharp and clear, and it looks really good. And like I said, there's a difference because that is a good hunk of a camera
Hmm.
that has it's still, it's not an SLR, it's not a DSLR, it's still like an advanced point and shoot, a super zoom point and shoot, you
Yeah.
know. But just you need the physics, you need that extra length, you need that extra optical to do. So to me, if you're like, well, I want to get around the limitations, you know, and it's not overly expensive. And someone's like, oh, I would really love to, or oh, I love when we go for a hike and I can take photos, but there's always that bird or always the mountain that just, if I just zoom in a little bit more,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, it is frustrating when, people like, well, you have another camera there, but you'd hardly ever use it. So basically, we're
Right.
like full-time iPhone photographers, and it's
Mm-hmm.
frustrating when you just don't have that reach. And sometimes your feet can't get you far enough, like, or you can't get close enough to something like a bird, or they're up in a tree or
Mm-hmm.
across the other side of a river. Just not too long ago, I was trying to get some pictures of this. I think it was either a sandhill crane or a blue heron. I don't know my birds well enough to know the difference, but um, it was on the other side of a river down at the local park, and it may have been only 100 feet away, but I couldn't get a decent shot of it. I just couldn't.
Mm.
So I gave up. And so a digiscope uh, could be a very good gift for the
Mm-hmm.
iPhoneographer trying to get a shot of the moon. So, all right, one last one here. And I was just kind of looking at a couple of different places online here, and I happened to see this one on Moment's website, and it's a Joby Grip Tight One Gorilla Stand. So a lot, I'm sure everybody but now has heard of
Mm.
GorillaPod, and this thing here is a very basic one. It's under $25, and it's got those three legs that look like they're made out of marbles or whatever. So you can wrap this thing around tree branches or fence posts or whatever, or you
Mm-hmm.
can just stand it up, or you can have them all stretched out and bunched together and hold it like almost like a gimbal type thing. And it has a clamp on it that you put your phone in, and you got yourself a little tripod. Um, like I say, you can wrap this thing around a tree branch. So that could be invaluable for getting the shot. In some tight situations or whatever. And it's a great little idea. I have a big tripod, like it's basically for the big boy cameras, but that's what I use. And other than that, I have a little wee tripod with little wee legs on it that's not exactly stable. So something like this is something that I should maybe look into getting because,
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm hoping my wife hears this, but, uh,
Yeah.
it's like I say, it's under $25, US. So I'm not sure what the price would be in Canada or Australia or whatever, but that's not a bad deal. And it could sure come in handy in the right situations. I mean, like, you know, plop it on your car hood, turn your car off, but plop it on your car
Yep.
hood and
Yep.
get the sunset or something. So, um,
Mm-hmm.
all right. So, any other gift ideas that you can think of, Dave?
No, honestly, the biggest thing, and this is the thing that kind of hurts everyone, to be honest, is listen when someone's taking a photo or you know working on editing photos or something on that nature, just listen to them talk. And
Yeah.
if someone says, "Oh, I wish I could do," or "I like this," or "Oh, that's really nice." Now, admittedly, and I've seen a few people post this, they're like, "I'm an adult. I have adult money. And if I want to buy something, I'm going to buy it. I'm not going to wait till, my birthday or Christmas or whatever just to buy it."
Yeah.
But there's always that something that someone's like, I probably wouldn't spend my own money on this because they consider it frivolous or, whatever. And, this like, "Oh, wait a minute. I just heard him say that."
Yeah.
Maybe they would like that as a gift.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, for sure.
their thing just to throw out, and this is something I was thinking about and I forgot about, and I just thought about it again. There are apps out there, tons. There's the free photo apps. And I know I haven't purchased anything from them. I've purchased prints from them, but I haven't purchased items from them. But you can get it where you can get an item, like an 8x8 square, and all you're paying is shipping and handling. So if someone has that one precious photo, of a loved one or a pet or something like that, you could do that and create something where they have something physical. I know everyone has everything digital, but there's something about, I can hang this on my wall, or, oh, we're going to create a mouse pad off of this, which I know Apple used to have that built in, not anymore, unfortunately. But it's like, oh, I can create a mouse pad and they can have this photo at work with them.
Yeah.
They can look down at least and get a smile on their face.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And even just prints, right? If somebody sees a print, say on your Instagram feed that they really liked, and well, hey, that could be a nice Christmas gift. Just so like that, so maybe I'll print that out and send it to them. So all kinds of different things to choose from, and I think that will be a wrap, unintended, on our gift ideas. Yeah. So
and that means I gotta call Ruth because I can't wrap presents worth crap.
Oh yeah.
We buy the bag, we put the tissue paper in the bag. There, it's wrapped.
That's the way to do it right there. So all right. Well, I guess we'll call it at that, and we'll tell everybody where they could find you.
Sure. You can find me on most of the social media as ProfPod, including I'm on Mastodon. I haven't really posted much. I'm on there, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok as ProfPodPGH.
All righty. You can find me on Twitter at Macmillan_photo, Instagram Macmillan Photo, on Vero at Macmillan. I'm on Mastodon as well. I'm going to get those links in the show notes. Again, like Dave, I haven't hardly posted anything. So I guess what we're doing, Dave, you're probably doing the same thing I am. You're just sitting back and waiting to see what happens with Twitter.
Absolutely correct. I'm waiting for it to, unfortunately, have something happen, crash and burn. I don't want it to happen. But I know how software works. And I know that for the most part, you can let software go if it's built with a solid base. But if you let go 75% of your workforce, something's going to happen. Something's going to break. And the one person who wrote that code back in 2008
will be working somewhere else.
Who wrote it as something like, oh, well, we're just a spunky little startup that only has, 30 people working for it. I'll throw this code in here, but by the time we get big, it'll be replaced by something a lot more, and it never is because it just works. Then it doesn't work. And then that person is gone and they're like, well, can you fix that code? It's like, I've never programmed in that language. I don't even know what language that's in.
Yeah. So well, with Mastodon, I mean,
covering our bases.
It's a thing, I guess, but eventually we'll get the links to our Mastodon accounts in the show notes. But well, I guess what we'll do is we will cut this off now, and we'll carry on in another week when you can hear about our recent photos and who knows what else we'll have. So, alrighty then. Take care, Dave.
Have a great one, everyone.